Saturday, February 12th, 2022. Today on the Daily Review, we discuss a documentary from 2015 that still seems particularly topical. It's called Winter on Fire, Ukraine's Fight for Freedom. Freedom? Freedom. With its host. With your host, me, Joe LaRocca. Oh man, today's plan was to be super professional. I messed up. Okay, so Ukraine gains its independence from the Soviet Union in 1991. And in 2004, they elect a guy that they didn't elect. It's like a false election, and they have what's called the Orange Revolution, and they're like, yeah, that's not real, and so they overturn it. And then in 2010, that same guy gets elected, but legitimately this time, because Ukraine is kind of suffering economically. And then this is about the 2013-2014 civic revolution that they went through when their president, this same guy, who is very allied with Russia, declines to sign their integration into the EU, which would mean a bigger flow of money and people and tourism. There's all sorts of benefits to it. They're kind of both literally and figuratively stuck between the East and the West, their future and their past. It's kind of, you couldn't write it better. And because they're just kind of like a crossroads nation there between the East and West. And really what is important and interesting about, well, there's many things that are important about it, and it's especially important now as we potentially it may be war in that area in the next week. So it continues to be interesting. Just so you know, Ukraine is not in the EU now. I did a little bit of research. It seems like they were for a bit, or were making their way to it, because I don't want to spoil where this documentary goes, because I do think you should watch it. It's on Netflix. It's like 90 minutes, but it's really a special documentary. Remember when I first saw it in 2015, because it was a very highly reviewed, and it was one of the Oscar-nominated documentaries that year, is that I'd never seen so much high-quality footage of an event. It's covered almost as if you're filming it, because of the proliferation of high-quality cameras. So the fact that everybody at this protest is running their cameras the whole time, plus, actual professional people are running cameras to document this huge event, there is so much coverage of the event that you can edit it together like a movie. And it really becomes like a war zone near the end of this. And you have a camera, it's like footage. It feels like it's from Full Metal Jacket or something. You're just right there. People are being shot at. There's dead people on the ground, and people are talking to the camera like it's a fucking live stream. It's bonkers, man. I really think that for me it was I'm sure there were other ones before this. I never like to make definitive things, but it was the moment I was like, whoa. Documentaries about things that happened about 2010 and forward are going to be different if they are mass events like that. Like a documentary that you could make on January 6th, the events of that. The amount of footage you probably have would be thousands and thousands of hours. Because when you go back and you think about the Kennedy assassination, obviously they didn't know he was going to be assassinated. Well, some people might have, but it's there's a one camera angle. There's a couple other people on the street, but the Zapruder one is the only one that's high quality. If that happened now, there'd be 55 cameras that were on the president at that moment. And that's kind of the point. That's I don't know how the government can ever really win if you can get this stuff out there. I guess the whole point is for a government that is being this openly mean. Mean. That makes it sound like they're, this is horrifying. These are peaceful protests, very peaceful protests where people are just getting their heads cracked in. It's crazy. People falling down. Just old people are falling down. They're just continuously getting beat. I know I've seen this in America, so it's not It's not that surprising to me, but seeing the black helmets is really creepy, and they're so shiny. It's like there's like stormtroopers literally, but they feel like something from Star Wars. There's like just like evil coming through the street. I highly recommend this. I think it's really important, and it gives you some context for what may be happening in the news in the coming months. I hope it doesn't. I hope we can just kind of figure it out. It seems like the people of Ukraine want to be part of the EU, because especially the young people, because they see that's their only way to have a future. Other excellent things about it are the visual graphics, like the on-screen graphics, like maps and stuff. They do a very good job of helping you understand exactly the history, and exactly once it gets kind of more focused on just Kiev, and the events that are happening. They do like a really good job to make sure you understand what's happening. In fact, like the little history lesson that they start with is amazingly concise and gets you right there to understanding what's going on. I think that lots of documentaries could take a quick little piece of note from that. Start with your hook, which is like footage of a kid, who's like a freedom fighter being like, I always wanted to be on the front lines. It's pretty fun. And then there's like gunfire in the background, and he's like, I just dragged a dead body. It's crazy, but this is what I want to be doing right now. It's like, oh, okay. And you're like, what makes a person do that? And then as you watch the documentary, you're like, that kid is not crazy. Like if I had seen, if I had a bunch of friends and stuff, and they were all just like mercilessly getting beaten because the president that they supposedly elected isn't representing them, and you're just kind of protesting, me like, hey, you're kind of shutting off our chances of any future by siding with the Russians, as opposed to letting us have a more free economy and free trade and exchange of people and ideas that you get with this more egalitarian thing. Well, I don't know. Some people don't like the EU, I guess. The UK done. Whatever. It's all complicated. I don't understand most of this stuff. But when you see visceral images like this, you can just tell. You're just like, it's just a human being looking at other human beings going, those human beings have to be wrong, because they're beating down people who are just like, hey, we want this thing that's good. I mean, we think it's good for everybody, whereas your thing is like only good for a few people, it seems like. Anyway, those are my political ideologies right there. Okay, so yeah, watch it. Definitely watch it. Now, one quick thing I want to talk about. Do you guys think that I should start doing ratings, like rate movies, like out of 10 stars or something like that, or A+ to F- or something like that, like on screen, a little like, I give it 5 bags of popcorn or whatever. Gotham thought maybe that's a good idea. People like that. But maybe something else. I do think that there should be something to help make the show a little bit more professional. 1 or 2 more graphics that can pop up mid-show. Like Joe's favorite moment from the movie or whatever. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And remember to like and subscribe. I'm not going to fill it with a bunch of crap, but it's clear that making episodes, I'm not really doing it well this time, but making episodes shorter, like absolute maximum of 10 minutes with music is kind of what I'm going to be going for. I'm going to break that today for sure. But 10 to 12 minutes max, and then maybe a few more graphics to make it look a little bit more professional while still maintaining the live uneditedness that I like so much. Okay. And by like so much, I mean, it means I don't have to edit later. Remember, guys, it's the daily review. It's quantity, not quality here. I know what that guy and the kid in the opening of this documentary is talking about. Wanting to just like be in the street and just like, club somebody's head in who is misdoing you. Misdoing you. I wish I knew words better. But someone injustice. There's so much injustice. You just want to stomp on its fucking face. But who am I to be the arbiter of what is just and not just? But when your nation is invisible, you gotta get in the streets, baby. I'm like, you gotta be Martin Luther King most of the time, and then every once in a while you gotta be a little Malcolm X, But of course, that's only if you're on the right side of the argument. Okay, take it easy.